Hello and welcome to the podcast where everyone is wearing appropriate shirts. Are we? Oh, it is appropriate. Thank God. I had
Sorry.
doubts for a second there. And we're welcoming
It's just
this
hot
week's
dogs,
guest.
Ben.
Oh. Are they vegetarian hot dogs?
Yes. Yes, they are.
From Satan's Grill. I've heard about that.
Satan's hot dogs.
Anyways, let us focus on this week's guest. Monica, welcome to the show. How are you doing? And for those that have not met you, who are you?
Hi, how are you? Thanks for inviting me. I'm Monica Rathbun, SQL Espresso online. It's great to be here. I appreciate you guys inviting me.
Our pleasure. So, Monica, we assume, let's hope we didn't make a mistake there, that you're somehow working in the data field. Otherwise, this will be a very awkward question.
Well, it's taken me 25 years to figure out where exactly I'm working and what I'm doing. No, yes, data field. I'm a consultant with Denny Cherry and Associates. I'm performance tuning. Everything performance tuning is my thing. Absolutely love it. So yeah, I've been in the data field for a very long time.
Does that make performance tuning also your favorite data thingy?
Yes, but within performance tuning, Query Store. Query Store is my favorite thing ever created inside SQL Server. So
See?
It helps me look really, really, really smart. So yes.
See, I should have asked Monica and not John last week, or how much she enjoyed Query Store and SQL Server 2000. That would have made way more sense.
Yeah.
I was working in SQL in 2000. Yeah, but
probably not with Query Store though.
No, right?
If yes, I have questions, but if yes, you probably cannot tell us because I'm sure there's some kind of NDA involved for those that work with Query Store and SQL Server 2000. I started with a 6.5 and I can tell you I did not use Query Store back then. Anything after that, I'm not going to comment on it.
Wasn't there a Query Store, like an open source Query Store similar product for the older SQL Server versions? Or did I make that up?
No, there is. I think it's called Open Query Store.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure William made sessions about that, which is how I heard about it. I've never seen it in action. I haven't even seen that session, but I'm 99% sure that he did.
Nice.
If not, we will have just to discard the recording and record this again another time, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine.
But again, all these rabbit holes, I have no idea how we're doing it. Getting back to our guest again.
Right.
What is it that makes specifically Query Store, a part of the fact that it makes your life a bit easier from time to time, I guess, your favorite feature?
It just makes it so fast to find the offending query. So they might say, hey, we had a spike in CPU yesterday, or this thing ran slow. And going into Query Store, just changing the parameters of what I'm actually looking for, I can find it so fast. And it makes me look extremely impressive. Like I know what the hell I'm doing. And all I'm doing is going to Query Store, looking at the wonderful pictures and the big giant bar of what's sticking out as an anomaly. So it makes it so fast. So yeah, that's what I love.
Do you prefer Query Store for finding that thing over some of the other like monitoring tools? You'd find it quicker in Query Store?
First place I'm going is Query Store. I have a bunch of queries for Query Store, but what I love to do, especially for management and people that do not understand data or queries or anything, is I use Snagit, and I'll pull pictures and be able to just draw a little arrow to the big giant bar and the big circles and tell them how many logical reads were there or how much CPU it was. And this is your issue. And then they're like, oh, right. So they can't really argue with the picture. So it makes it super easy to tell the story of what's going on. So yeah, love it. I live in it all the time. First place I go.
Now, what I'm hearing is your favorite tool is actually Snagit, and you're just using Query Store as a helper to feed into it.
Snagit is worth every penny. I'm in Snagit all of the time. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that too. Mm-hmm. The ability just to grab something and be like, whoop. Yeah.
Yep. Makes it super simple.
Much easier. Yeah.
Yep.
Especially in this like remote world, right? Where we're sending screenshots a lot rather than sitting pointing at things. So
yeah. And actually, because it keeps a library of all of your screenshots that you've previously taken, that you could go back for an example. Like I'm rebuilding my performance tuning precon, and I was just going through my library of, okay, do I have a picture of this? Do I have a picture of that? And of course I do. And love it. Love it. Best tool ever.
Cool.
Well, next to Query
agreed.
Store. So, but yes.
Right. Well, Snagit technically isn't a data tool, I guess, right?
Right.
Well, it is keeping all that data history of all your screenshots. So I'm going to say it's like a data lake-ish.
True. A data lake.
Okay.
The Snagit
Right,
data
I'll go
lake
with
is
that.
my favorite thing.
I mean, now this is getting awkward because I was at some point going to say how nice it was to see you last week in Belgium, Monica. We actually did that pre-con that you just said that you're updating. So now people are wondering, why is she updating the pre-con that she just delivered last week? What is happening?
Well, maybe she's doing it again.
Yes,
well,
exactly.
She most certainly
you
is.
constantly have to evolve, right? Everything changes. It has some cloud stuff. The screenshots change from one moment to another. I'm going with that, Jess. I like it.
Saved.
Yeah, exactly.
Good job,
No
Jess.
confusing time travel here. Thanks, buddy.
Exactly.
Glad I could be useful today.
I'm impressed. I did
me
not.
too. It doesn't happen often.
I knew you were going to save me from this, but I had no idea it would be like this smooth.
This smooth, yeah.
Chapeau.
It was pretty smooth. But
Very much.
anyway, so the second question we like to ask our guest Monica is what their favorite non-data thingy is.
You cannot say Snagit anymore because we kind of burned that one. Right?
Non-data thing, like hobby kind of thing to do. So I love to read books. I have 2 teenage daughters. Well, one is now 20 and one will be 18. And we're all avid readers. So they'll read a series and say, Mom, you need to read this series. And I'll sit there and read the series and we'll start talking about the books or whatever. We're all huge book nerds. So sitting around on the back porch with a book and a margarita or a glass of wine or something, then that's my kind of day, on a beautiful day to sit there and read all day long. Only problem is once I start a book, like I've got to read the whole series and I can't stop until it's done. So it becomes all consuming. So I try to take breaks. Otherwise you won't hear from me or see me or anything because I'm engrossed in whatever the book is. So
see, I don't understand this at all because I can literally read one chapter and I'm like, okay, I read a chapter. Let's go do something else. But my wife will sit there and read, like we got on a plane, coming from America or going to America. And she literally sat there for like 8 hours reading a book. Like she didn't even go to the bathroom. I was like, what are you doing? But yeah, I'm like one chapter and I'm good for a break.
Nope. I actually have to force myself to put the book down. I'll be up reading till 3 a.m. and I'll be like, oh crap.
Really?
And then I'll look again. Okay, I only have one more chapter. Let me keep going. Yeah. And they're the same way. We absolutely love it. So
awesome.
Yeah. So
that's super cool that you can share that with them and then share series and stuff.
Oh, it's really cool because upstairs, I'll have my bedroom here and then their bedroom's at the end of the hall. And one is reading the first book in the series. And the other one's reading the second book in the series or whatever. And you'll hear them running down the hall. Hey, did this really happen? Oh my God, I can't believe this happened. And then they'll run back to their room and start reading again. And then they'll come, Mom, check this out. Yeah, it's very entertaining.
That's super cool. Love that.
Yeah, love it.
Can you start reading a series before the entire series has been published?
Yes. So I try not to. Right now, we were reading the Inheritance games. So we were reading that, and the book 4 just came out this week. So I just got caught up, and I read the series after the girls have actually read it. So we've been sitting here anticipating the 4th book. And of course, my oldest has to read it first, and then my youngest, and then I finally get it. So I have to wait to complete it, and then I get it. So I try not to do the series until I have a couple books, but it depends on what it is. But yeah, having to wait for that final book is like, but we always pre-order the books and my girls get extremely excited and wait for it and counting down the days. So yeah.
So are you reading like real books or Kindle books?
So that's a good question because I used to read the hard books and then my eyes would get tired because, I'm getting old. And then I would just fall asleep while I'm reading or, the margaritas kind of help too. So, I'm falling asleep as I'm reading.
It's in the head. Yeah.
Right? Let's be real. But then I went to the Kindle and then I could read late at night because it's kind of backlit. And I was finding I was reading great. But my girls are addicted to hard books. They love the hard books and the feel of it. So since they're handing the books off to me, I don't want to pay for the book twice. Yeah. So unless I'm trying to read at the same time as them, I get the hard books. So now, gotcha. And then I just, try not to fall asleep. Or forgo the second margarita, maybe the third.
Smart.
We'll see, right?
Second margarita. This is pictures, right?
Right.
It's like the
I was forcing myself not to say it, and then Jess goes there and whoops.
But
Sorry.
you know, if you put it in a big glass, it's really one margarita, right? Like my
I'm
coffee,
with
all
you.
my coffee mugs
Yeah,
are huge, which
That's
is
just one coffee.
really 3 cups of coffee, but it's my 1 cup of coffee.
Isn't
Yeah.
there
Same thing as
this
with margaritas, right?
gif with, I think it's Betty White, with that giant glass of wine
Yes.
that's
That holds like a
about
whole
the size of
bottle.
her
Whole
head?
It's only one though.
Yeah.
If you don't have to re-pour, it's only one. So,
Even if you need both hands.
yes, it qualifies.
Okay.
There's no disclaimer. So yeah, it qualifies.
Oh, we don't make the rules, so there's that.
No.
Exactly.
Sometimes we don't even follow them.
Nothing wrong with that.
There is also that. So, Monica,
Mhm.
with those margaritas and books, I mean, except for Jess's wife, who apparently doesn't even go to the bathroom, let alone eat something in between. But Jess and I, we always get hungry. And since we're driving that nice RV across the country, well, across your country right now, at some point we get hungry. And since you hopped, I mean, that makes perfect sense because we're driving the RV and Monica's just sitting there in the back of the RV reading, having margaritas and stuff. So
Yeah, this is
I think
perfect.
the least she
I
can
like
do is provide us with a nice meal in between. What are we getting?
Tacos.
Or in other words, oh, taco, nice.
You're getting tacos.
Yes.
Homemade tacos. So you got to have the fried tortilla. You got to have all the toppings. My tacos are like massively tall, and they've got to spill out and make a big giant mess as you eat them. So messy, good tacos is what you're getting.
Yes. Great.
I mean, your head is at giant, but also messy good.
You had me at just tacos.
Tacos.
Yeah,
I was
there's
already
that.
in. So
That's a staple
Yeah.
at my house. Taco
I
nights.
didn't want to come across as too easy, so I figured we're adding the.
right. Play it cool. Is there guacamole? Like
There's not guacamole at home. There's not guacamole at home, but I do have a Mexican restaurant next to me. If you come and speak for my user group, I bring all the speakers there to eat as a thank you. But we have a guacamole guy. His name is Juan. And everybody knows
Okay.
Guacamole Juan. And he comes to the table and makes the best guacamole in front of you. And it's fantastic. I've been going to this place so much for so long that you walk in, they nod their head, they start my order, and I sit down. And then Juan comes over, makes my guacamole, and my food shows up. So
amazing.
my
I
kind
love
of place.
places like that.
Mhm.
So where are we coming to speak at the user group?
Hampton Road SQL Server user group. So I'm in Virginia Beach. I've been running this user group for 9 years now. We did a data Saturday here. We had to cancel the one in 2000 where Ben was going to come over and do a pre-con for us. Very sad. So,
He'll be back.
But yes, we'll be back. My user group is back in person, which is awesome. So I've got speakers coming in. We're doing pretty well. So hopefully
Awesome.
next year, maybe we can do another SQL Saturday or Data Saturday and see if we can get some warm bodies in that building for us. I'm hoping. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, it sounds good. You've said tacos and beach, so it seems like a good place.
Exactly. That's the great thing, because if you come here, it's a resort city. So finding speakers is pretty easy because they bring their family and it's a vacation and it makes it easy for us. Yeah. Hey, welcome to come across the pond anytime. Love to have you.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
I feel like we're committing to a whole lot of US-based data Saturdays at this point, just saying.
Yeah, but we have the RV, so we might as well make use of it. We can get taxes.
There's that. The other thing is, it seems like it's basically Mexican food that draws us there, because, or Tex-Mex food, I should rather say, because the last time we committed to join another data Saturday was when Peter invited us over, luring us with burritos.
Yeah,
Chipotle.
You're right.
Yes.
There is a theme. If you want to somewhere, just hold some tacos or burritos. Yeah, true.
There is nothing wrong with that concept. I like it.
One of the things I really miss about living in the UK is we don't do Mexican food very well or at all. Like Kels will make it at home, but going out to Mexican restaurants is just not the same.
Wow. So, I did not know that.
Yeah.
You know what I found interesting is when I went over there, a great Indian food area over there. I was very shocked that there was a correlation between getting over there and having fantastic, like really good Indian food. Over Europe. I didn't expect that. So
I think English cuisine curry is right up there. So Yeah,
Very, very good.
there's a lot of good Indian food for sure.
I
Awesome.
agree. I tend to agree. Now I
Well,
want
thanks.
tacos and burritos.
Yeah, me too.
I know what I'm having for lunch.
Is it Chipotle?
No, I'm going to go over and
A
see
small
Vaughn
side
and get some
salad.
guacamole.
Yes, great.
Have a margarita.
When you have your own guacamole, man,
Yeah, guacamole, man.
what are you gonna do?
It is Friday after all, so I mean, why not? We're going to allow it.
I appreciate it. That's what's going to happen.
I mean, not that it would have made any difference if we had not allowed it. So
No.
we might as well be generous here.
Hey, that just means I can have 2 margaritas. Well, 1 big jumbo margarita because you guys allowed it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anything we can do, just shout.
Yeah, appreciate that.
That's our jam. Having that said, thank you so much for having for joining us on the show.
Oh no, so close.
Okay, we got to
Edit
restart the
that bit out.
recording.
Cut.
There is no editing.
Oh no.
Let me start again. Thank you for joining us. This was fun. Not as much fun as it was, of course, as it was last week when we've met in person in Belgium. Remember? And with that, thank you everyone for watching. Also, thank you, Jess, and see you all next week. Bye.
Bye, folks.
Bye. Thanks for having me.